I don't know if I told you guys before that I used to live in Ohio, and one of the craziest combinations that I saw was a car wash and laundromat. I don't know if where you live have those, but I absolutely thought that was the most brilliant thing in the world, because if you're going to a laundromat, you got a lot of time to kill. Why not get your car washed at the same time? And of course, in that neck of the woods, they put salt on the road, so every time it snows, it rains, and stuff, you want to wash your car so rust doesn't get there. I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. Today, I found another one of those. Actually, my wife found another one of those. We were coming back from my kids' swim lessons, which, I mean, I didn't even know babies. I guess he's a toddler now. I didn't know that toddlers could swim as well as this kid is swimming. Not that my kid's like super great or whatever, but just like all kids that age, they have this innate ability to be able to swim. And like throwing them in the water and teaching them how to flip on their back and float. It's like he was just started to walk a couple months ago and he's like swimming, being able to hold his breath and stuff. Anyways, it's amazing. But I found another one on the way back where my wife pointed it out. And it says on the sign, guns and comics. Guns and comics. I guess when you're buying your gun and you're waiting for the background check to come through, yes, you actually have to have a background check. Contrary to the mainstream media, you could go look at your comics. But what's actually really interesting about it, and then we'll get into the intro and get the show going, is that they're two separate stores. There's the gun shop, ammo, all that good stuff. And then there's the comic store separate. And their actual names of the stores are like the gun shop and then the comics and hobbies shop. But the sign has them combined together. And I just thought that was a brilliant marketing strategy where one or two shops, maybe owned by the same person, decided to combine them to be catchy. I mean, a gun shop is funny, comics, okay. But when you put guns and comics together on the same sign, that's a attention grabber. And it makes you look at the store, which is exactly what a sign's supposed to do. So I just thought that was great. Maybe it's some good food for thought for you and how you can leverage something like that. With maybe a partner business or something to that effect. This is the long intro show. No, this is How to Build a Tent, the podcast on how to make you successful. My name is Matt Williams, the poor excuse for humor host. I am thankful that you put up with my jokes and quote unquote jokes. And I am so thankful you're listening. Thank you for all of your support and direct messages, emails, all that good stuff. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me matt@howtobuildatent.com is the email address. You can find me on all the social media sites, How to Build a Tent. Love to hear from you. Love to talk with you guys. Throw around ideas, kick some things back and forth. Really appreciate it. I am also really excited. I've talked about this a few times, about the show that we're going to be doing, another podcast. And what is one of the most exciting things about this to me is we are going to be talking, we're going to have hosts that are different sides of the spectrum, the Christian perspective. But what's most exciting to me is that you guys are going to be able to participate. We're going to be doing it live where you can comment in real time via chat. We're going to have poll questions like during the show. You are going to be part of the show. It's kind of like a business meeting where you can have polls, you can have chat during a business meeting, but it's going to be a podcast. So we're fusing together a business meeting and a podcast so that it's not just us hosts talking, but you are going to be able to participate as well. I've gotten some feedback too about how like some people want to just listen to the show and they don't want to hear other people's opinions. So we're going to be balancing that out too. That was really good feedback. I really appreciated that. But I'm really excited because I think a lot of you have some great insights and you're going to have great questions, or maybe sometimes like we as the hosts aren't explaining something correctly, or you want to call us on something, you can call us on it in the show and we will be able to address it right away. I mean, it's so great of a time to be doing this and just all the technology. I'm so excited about that. So stay tuned about that. We're going to have most likely a promotional period where we're doing the beta testing of the show where you can get in on it and help support us and just be part of the down and dirty. Before I started this show, I did like 5 or 6 shows where I didn't release them to anybody because they were terrible. but it helped me get comfortable with talking to a mic, get comfortable in front of a camera when I was doing it in front of a camera, and it does all that stuff. So we're going to be inviting you to be part of that as well. One of the Christian businesses I want to highlight is Garlands of Grace. I saw them on Facebook. They were on Etsy for 12 years, and Etsy kicked them off because they had a Bible verse. One of those Bible verses that is pretty, convicting, to say it lightly, talking about the people that need to repent. And they were basically taken off and said, if you want to come back on, you have to remove your Bible verse. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. We feel like that's compromising. So we're just not going to sell on Etsy anymore. Now, that's a big hit for a company. And I would like you guys to help support this Christian company as they're taking a stand. I believe it's for ladies. They do head wraps and all that stuff. So if you're into head wraps or you know somebody that is, go over to Garlands of Grace, GARLANDS of grace.com, garlandsofgrace.com, and check out, see if there's something there that you can help, maybe a present for yourself, something like that, to help support these people. They're going to take a big hit, and they're doing it because they're taking a Christian stand. I don't know if you know this or not. You probably do if you listen to this network, that we're in a battle, and we can't win this battle by ourselves. We need to come together and help each other out. We need to lock shields. We had a great episode about that before, where we need to come alongside of each other and lock shields. And one way to do that, of locking shields, is to support companies that are taking a stand, a biblical stand, a principled stand. So go over to do that. I have another correction to make. Thank you, Cal, for sending this to me. I was pleasantly surprised that the early reports that I covered in the show of Apple coming out with a cheap phone was not true. They are not coming out with a cheap phone. Except they actually went the exact opposite direction and have a really expensive phone, which I think plays better, again, for their brand than coming out with a cheaper phone. They do have, I think it was 3 different phones, and there is one that is cheaper, but I'm thankful that they didn't go the route that I thought they were going to do. One of the things they did do, though, was include Apple TV Plus free with any new devices, which is a really strong move. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show or I just tweeted it before, but one of the things that I thought was going to save Netflix is doing gaming and being able to stream gaming and have like controllers, like maybe Xbox controllers or something that could be integrated with the games. Apple TV is coming out with an arcade service as well. So that is kind of interesting to see their play. And it's just, Apple is a very interesting company right now for the reasons I said before, of how I think they're really gone downhill since Tim Cook took over. But they're also in this transition from leaving being a device company and to a software company and a service company. So it'll be interesting to see this and see how it plays out. They really undercut their price. I believe it was $4.99. I don't have it in front of me. And is pretty interesting because Disney was undercutting everyone. I think their price was $6.99 for their service that's coming out, and Apple's coming out with one $4.99. It's going to be interesting to see how long they can keep that going. I don't know how competitive that is. Maybe they're just launching that service and trying to break even so people will buy their devices, and they'll make their margins on their devices themselves and not the service, which kind of goes against the shift that I was just saying they're going to do. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to afford doing that in the long term, but we'll see. We'll keep ears out and eyes open for that one. Another big lawsuit that just happened, which does affect you, even if you're not in the business world, if you're not somebody in the career world, but you are on social media. LinkedIn just lost an appeals decision, the Ninth Circuit. Now, when it goes to a circuit appeal, that's when it starts becoming case law, where other courts are going to reference it. So when it goes to an appeals court, that is when you should take notice, especially the Ninth Circuit. A lot of the smaller states that have the other circuits will look to the Ninth Circuit to make decisions. And they ruled that third parties can mine your info on LinkedIn if it's marked public. So if you put your information on LinkedIn, like a lot of people do, and it's public, like a lot of people do, so that other people can find you and they can, reach out to you for a job or reach out to you to network or whatever it is. Now, if you put it to public, that means you don't have an expectation of privacy. And that means other companies are going to be able to take that information and use it for whatever they want because it's public information. Very interesting decision. And that's going to apply to everyone. That's not going to just be LinkedIn. That's going to be Facebook. That's going to be Twitter, Instagram. And they're going to be mining your data and using it. So be aware of what information you have marked public. It looks like third parties, other companies, are going to be able to mine it when it is created public. Now, I'm pretty sure just from how the verbiage was that it doesn't include private information, but it's just the public profile. So you might want to take a look and see what information you have that's public or private, and if you want that public information out to third-party companies. All right, that's all the time we have. So take that. Let's go out, be successful. Let's bless people with our success. Let's trust God to grow and plant, because without the Lord, it's all in vain. And we will talk to you tomorrow. God bless.